What's up, world? Welcome back to my channel. I am Vivia, and I'm super excited to have you here with me today on episode 5 of my vlog. Today's episode, I will be reflecting on the joy of vegetables. That's right. Now see, when I was younger, I really only cared for like 3 vegetables: peas, green beans, and corn. But then I later found out corn really wasn't a vegetable for me. But that's a whole nother piece you got to research on. Today, I really love going to grocery stores, walking around, discovering what is new and fresh that I've never tried, and learning what it is and figuring out how to cook it and what benefits it has. And so today I'm going to take a look at a couple of vegetables that I've come to love and really appreciate. And to do so, we're going to go into one of my favoritist grocery stores. Yes, I said favoritist. Yes, I did. We're going to go into one of my favoritist grocery stores, and that store is Sprouts. That's right. Sprouts Farmers Market. Y'all got to check them out, honey. Let's go inside. Look at all the fruits and vegetables, honey. Yes. It's so colorful and pretty, y'all. I love it. Yes. Come through, vegetables. Come through. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Which one I'm going to show y'all first that I love? Turnips. Yes. Let's start with turnips, you guys. Now, I actually grew up, my mom used to make rutabaga, which I still love. But around the time when I first got started, I actually took turnips when I wasn't really doing potatoes, and I would peel them, cut them up, and turn them into fries. I put them in the oven and bake them. So good when you use them like French fries. Just bake them just like you would potatoes. Here's one that I don't use much, but I find it really fascinating, is a Chayote Squash, which is definitely alkaline as well. I am focusing on alkaline vegetables, just so you guys know. And it's just really unique. I like how it has the curvatures to it, like how I am curvy, yes. But you can pretty much cut this up and put it in soups and stews and all types of stuff. Purple cauliflower. Ooh, I don't know how natural that is, but I just love the fact that it's purple. I have not had it before. Here's another one I really love, radishes. I never really got into radishes until one day Rachel Ray did an episode where she was braising radishes. Like, she just put them in a little bit of water and kind of let them go, and oh, they are so good. But they're also really good raw, and they're good cleansers. Celery, I used to not really be a big fan of celery unless it was in some stuffing and a whole bunch of grease or whatever where I could barely taste it, or in like soup. Oh, here come the rain. Look at the rain. Fall, rain, fall. Celery I used to really not really mess with, but now I actually enjoy celery with like some hummus, or perhaps like if I have it with some almond butter, because I can't do peanut butter. Okra, y'all. When I tell you I love okra, like I really love okra. And I probably grew up with people like frying it, but I really didn't mess with it. But now I completely love okra. Broccoli is the bomb. It's absolutely one of my faves. Everybody knows it, but there's so much you can do with it. Like, you can bake it, you can like saute it, and you can put it inside of pastas and all types of different things. Purple cabbage is absolutely one of my favorites. And I like to put it into all sorts of different things. And what else do I love? Brussels sprouts, y'all. When I tell y'all I love me some Brussels sprouts, like, I legit love me some Brussels sprouts, because I just feel like I feel healthier when I'm eating them. And I really like them when they're baked or when they're like almost burnt, because they can even taste like potato chips if you cook them in the oven, that kind of way. Here's one that I really love as well. This is kale. Now, this is Dinosaur Kale, which is actually, from my understanding, a little more natural than a lot of the kale that you'll see. And you can probably tell in my mind, when I see it has a lot of roughage like this, I know it's going through my body doing some cleansing and cleaning stuff out. It's a little tougher, but you can still work with it. And I'm telling you, that sautéed kale, you can saute it. I pretty much put everything with onions and some seasoning, and I'm good. But you can also get purple kale. Look at all the different colors of kale. It's just so variable. Beets. I used to really didn't mess with beets, and sometimes I still don't. You have to be kind of careful with them. Some people believe in them, and some people don't. But I really like beet juice, and I don't usually buy them like this. I usually buy them where they're either already peeled, which is because it's just a lot of work and it can make a lot of mess. It can stain as well. Now here's one of my favorites as well, rainbow chard. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's so many options. So rainbow chard, I love this because number one, it's got all these different colors of the rainbow, which is a sign, you know, from the Lord about how much he loves us and is with us. And you can see the ribs, it reminds me of like my veins. And so when I see the chard, I like to either put this in, I like to saute it by itself. That's one option. But you can also, I like to put it in smoothies if I don't have any spinach. So that's one of my favorite things to do. Broccolini. Broccolini is kind of like, it is broccoli, but to me it reminds me of asparagus and broccoli. But it's just a small stick of broccoli. And it's real skinny. And you pretty much can cook this the same way you would anything else. Oh my goodness, green onions, honey. I live by green onions in my Asian dishes that I make. I like to take green onions in my pasta dishes that are supposed to have like an Asian flair to them, or like a Thai type of taste to it. It just gives it a whole nother layer of flavor. Cilantro. Ooh, cilantro. I wish I could smell it. This is where, you know, you do kind of want some type of smell-o-vision. But cilantro, I used to didn't really care for cilantro, but now I found out how cleansing it is, and I really like to just put it on top of different types of foods. Definitely love it in my guacamole, but there's so much more you can do with it. Some people juice it. Some people actually will take it and just eat it by itself. So I ain't there yet, but I think that's a beautiful option. Oh, honey, here is something I live by. Ginger root, baby. If you're not using ginger root like once a week or some sort, honey, look, you got to get you into some ginger root. Now, if you really are feeling like you got a cold coming on, I like to just hit this. And then cauliflower. Cauliflower is something I really have come to love. I like to use this instead of mashed potatoes. I like to take cauliflower and I like to like steam it and then smash it up. Some brands are starting to make it where it's already made, but in a lot of cases you can really take it and do it yourself, and it's a lot healthier that way. Now this, do you guys remember the dandelion flower? Like the one that has like the flower that has like yellow and a little brown thing in between? Well, these are dandelion leaves. A lot of times you can see these even growing out of the ground, but these are one of the most cleansing greens that you can use. And I absolutely love dandelion tea. That's my absolute favorite, one of my favorite teas, for real. Dandelion tea and lemongrass tea. I love those too. But you can utilize these inside your smoothies. You can saute them. They're not my favorite saute, so I kind of rather just drink it as a tea or have it in my smoothies, basically. Leeks I get a little afraid of, but I have messed with them a little bit. Leeks are like this big, huge vegetable. What you have to remember with leeks is to be sure to, when you cut it up, make sure you rinse it in water, like just put it in a whole bowl of water and let it sit for a little while, because it usually has a lot of sand in between the layers of it. So it's better to do it that way. Okay. So there's so many options, you guys. I mean, I could go on and on, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of my favorites. Of course, if I don't have time to do anything fresh myself, I do come to some of these prepackaged options like the baby kale. I often use baby kale to be able to put in my smoothies. Baby kale is typically a little bit better than regular kale. Again, you can look that up and see for yourself. Okay, something else that I grew up on was zucchini. And I really loved how my mom used to prepare it. She used to just slice it up, put it with some onions. And I still do that to this day. But I just am very careful with the amount of seasoning I use. But I also like to add this to pasta dishes or stews or curries. Oh my gosh, I love curries. And they come in different colors, of course. There's all different types of squashes, actually. That's what I didn't know. Like, you know, I always just knew like green and I knew like yellow. But they also have like acorn squash and butternut squash. Butternut squash is the bomb. And spaghetti squash. I have come to like eggplant. Now, I don't work with it that often, but I really do like it as a baba ghanoush. It is so good. And baba ghanoush is basically like hummus, but you using eggplant instead of chickpeas. And I also love it when it's just really crispy. Now, I ain't gonna front. My favorite way to eat it is breaded, like eggplant parmesan, but I know I can't do that all the time, so yeah. I try to just eat it how it's supposed to be eaten. Y'all, I used to be afraid of avocados, but today I legit love avocados. And what made me fall in love with avocados is the blessed chipotle. Because when I was in college, I would go and get the guacamole, and the guacamole was so lit, and I was so happy. I was like, ooh, let me try avocados. Now I love avocado toast. I like to put avocados on other stuff to make it be like a substitute for butter. It's just delicious. I absolutely love it. Okay, this is something I wasn't really sure about in the beginning, but asparagus. I love asparagus. Asparagus is the bomb. I particularly like it grilled, but you can also cut it up and put it with pastas or whatever you into. I'm saying pastas a lot. Try not to do a lot of pastas, but you can cut it up and put it in some soup or stews, or again, my favorite, curries. But like I said, with it having it grilled, it's the bomb. Now look, it's gonna really clean you out. But give it a shot. I recommend going to like Trader Joe's and buying the frozen grilled one. That'll really be good. So give that a shot. I got my juice popping. So this is a juice with like celery. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go take a picture of it and show y'all what it is. So yeah, I just encourage you guys to go to the store and find a vegetable that you've never eaten, or that maybe you did eat like when you were little and didn't really like, and just check and see what another recipe is for it. Give it a shot. Most vegetables, I just take some onions and some peppers. That seem to help everything. And cut it up and saute it, or I'll bake it. And just try to make it fun. And if you really aren't feeling it, you can always blend in something that's a little healthier with it to mask the taste if you want. But at least you're getting it in. Like you can blend it with some chickpeas or some quinoa, or if you do rice, you can do like, some brown rice. Or I really like KELP noodles. When I was talking about all the pasta dishes, I usually do like KELP noodles when I do pasta dishes. So these are just some suggestions. And I thank you guys for considering it, and give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. Comment below or hit me up on Instagram at Queenvivia. So now let's get into how my week was. I'm just gonna give you a little glimpse. This week was the first week that I did my 21-day transformation. And like I said, I'm preparing for a role that's gonna require me to be in a swimsuit, and I want to feel great and I want to look great. So part of my 21-day process has been taking time to just look at myself in the mirror and appreciate my body and appreciate who I am. And I've also decided to focus on fasting during at least this first week and pretty much throughout the whole 21 days. And so for the first week, I pretty much just did liquids, which was mostly water. In the morning, I would do like hot water, lemon, cayenne pepper, a little bit of Himalayan pink salt. These last few days, I've actually added cinnamon to it, and it just takes it to a whole nother place, really. I love it. And when I had it, I would do ginger tea in the morning, and then I would also add cayenne pepper. But I haven't been adding agave, no syrup of any sorts, because I'm really wanting to avoid the sugar. And the first couple of days, I ain't gonna front y'all, it was rough. It was rough. I had an attitude. I was bad, I was hungry. But then I just had to focus on the bigger picture and recognize that I wasn't just doing this for a role. I was doing this because I knew I hadn't been eating my best over the last month in March, and I needed a cleanse. I needed to do something to cleanse out, and I really could tell the difference. My energy is higher now. I'm starting to see the perspective in regards to how my body is feeling. And so I encourage you guys, if you started to do the 21 days with me, I hope it's going great. Stick with it. We on week 2. You got 7 days behind you, and it's just 14 more to go, and I promise you it's going to go by really fast. You might have some challenging days, but what I did to get through those challenging days, I prayed, I asked the Lord to help me, and I did my best to maintain. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like I didn't have no slip-ups. I had 2 slip-ups. I had a couple samples. You know how you get them sample cups and you try something? That was a mistake. But I stayed with it for the best that I could. And it's been challenging. And I made it a point that when I did make a mistake, I didn't punish myself or yell at myself or be like, oh, I got to start over. It's all over. And then just start eating the way I used to. I couldn't afford to do that. My body deserves more. I'm worth more. So I decided to just, for the most part, when I made the mistake, I was like, okay, well, that's done. I have the option to make another choice the next minute, the next hour, the next day. And you always have a choice. You always have a choice. So when people be like, oh, I be rushing, I don't really have time, that's not the case. You always have a choice. Just like how I got this juice, I got some juice. This juice is lit. That was my choice to get juice because I didn't take the time to make my smoothies this morning. So I stopped and got some juice. And it's not always the most affordable option, but I bet you this. The $5 I spent on some juice as opposed to going through somebody's drive-thru and paying $4 or $5 for their little $4.99 meal or whatever and thinking that's going to fill me up when I know I'm going to be hungry 2 hours later. Anyway, you just got to keep that type of stuff in perspective. And so I hope that blesses you guys. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share if you feel led to. And you're welcome to hit me up, like I said, on Instagram. I'm at Queenvivia. And I'll put the website for Sprouts below so you can check them out and find out what location is near you. If there's not a Sprouts near you, you can go to any local grocery store that you usually do. But I encourage you to also find a local farmer's market because farmer's markets are fun. And you can get just a little bit and see how you like it, and then you can go back and buy a lot if you really like it. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you next week. God bless.